Health wearables have been getting smarter. They've also been getting smaller. Now, for the last 1 month, I've been wearing a smart ring, and it's been an interesting experience to say the least. This is not a sponsored segment, so keep watching for our unvarnished views on the Ultrahuman smart ring. Check it out. 10,000 steps a day. That magic figure that all of us strive for every day. I think we first heard about 10,000 steps when Fitbit came around. You remember that band which used to sort of measure the steps you've taken every day and other biomarkers? It's a great story about how a device can have such a big cultural impact. Then came the Apple Watch, which added a host of other stats to the mix. Now, folks, for the last 1 month, I have been testing the latest entrant into the health wearables market. I present to you the Smart Ring. Now, there are a number of manufacturers making a number of rings. I went into a store and I got myself an Ultrahuman AIR, which is what I'm wearing. Now, out of the box, all you get is a ring, a special charger and a cable. The ring can be charged with any charger that delivers under 20 watts. The first thing you notice is what you don't feel. Now, this is a titanium ring. It's just about 2.5 grams, so you barely sort of feel it. I haven't even noticed that I'm wearing it most of the time. They say it's waterproof, showering is fine. I've gone for a swim in it. Although when I swim in it, that's a problem because, in swimming you're supposed to keep your fingers all closed and tight, and with this you can't, so I won't be wearing it for swimming. Now, getting the right fit is easy. I got it from a store, so that was simple, but most manufacturers, including Ultrahuman, ship a sizing kit. For something tracking me around the clock, this ring stays completely out of the way. Except when I have to charge it, that is. So Ultrahuman says that one charge lasts about a week. But there's an important caveat. That is on something called chill mode, which turns the sensors off during the day and only captures information at night. So that lasts about a week. I put mine on turbo mode, lasted me about 4 days, but it keeps the sensors running all day to get the most detailed data. And then there's something called critical mode, which is only to be used when you're almost flat. Charging takes about 2 hours, so it's not really a big deal, except that it does require a specialized charger, which is really small, so if you lose that, well, you've got to order a new one. It's also another charger to carry. So what do these smart rings really measure? A great deal, and that's where it gets interesting. Take sleep. It doesn't just clock how long I've slept, it breaks the night down. How much REM, how much deep sleep, even how often I've tossed and turned. Now, the stress tracking is tied to your sleep, and that genuinely surprised me. There's a stress rhythm score. So when I sleep less, the stress goes up. On a rough day, it flagged that I was wound up, and it was right, and it nudged me to dial it down. Then each morning, a recovery score pulls all of this together and tells you whether to push hard or ease off. So it's 5:30 in the evening. I would usually go and get a coffee, but for the past few days, I've been getting this nudge from my ring which says don't drink coffee after 5:30 in the evening because it's going to affect your sleep. I did listen to it and I realized there is a point, it does affect my sleep. So, it has these little nudges. These are not things that you don't know. It also keeps reminding me, now I work long hours, it keeps reminding me of my sleep debt, which has been going up throughout the week. Now, these things are things you need to act upon, and sometimes you just need reminders that, that you need to act upon them. And I think that's what it does. It doesn't tell you something you don't necessarily not know. There's also something called cardio age. Now, this was actually quite scary because your cardio age, according to this ring, can be, it computes this cardio age using a multiplicity of factors. It can be lower or higher than your chronological age, and mine is higher, and that is simply because I have been off the bandwagon and not been exercising for a while. It's a timely reminder to make sure that I exercise every day. So again, coming back to the same point, there are a lot of stats, but it's these little nudges where I think it has been adding to my life, at least for the last 1 month. Beyond the basics, Ultrahuman does go deeper. You can upload blood test results and track biomarkers, and there's a separate sensor if you want to watch your blood sugar and insulin response. It can also log your blood oxygen levels and skin temperature overnight. So there was one thing that I was concerned about, and perhaps you'll think about it too, is that how much radiation do these things emit? I mean, you've got electromagnetic waves going into your body at all times, or at least during the night. So I did some research, and apparently the radiation coming out of rings is negligible and not something that should really concern you, but feel free to do your own research. So how do these rings compare? Now, there are a number of rings from a number of manufacturers. When I went to buy one, I looked at Ultrahuman, I looked at Aura, and I looked at Gabit. Now, Gabit is the most value for money. It's for about 13,000. The Ultrahuman AIR that I got cost me about 26,000. And then there's Aura, which is top of the line, which starts at about 29,000 and goes up to about 40,000. I got Ultrahuman because, well, it was middle of the rung and there is no subscription. In Aura, there is a monthly subscription and I thought that those costs would add up, but it does give you much more information as well. So will I keep wearing it? I think so. It doesn't get in the way. I don't really have to bother about it getting wet or dust or any of that. It's light enough. You can barely feel it. And its nudges are genuinely helpful. I have found that I have reacted to the stats it gives me, and that has improved my quality of life somewhat. There is one thing though, and that struck me when I was thinking of getting one for my mom. Now, she gets quite anxious about her health, and I thought that, so I decided against it because I think there is always that tendency that you will start looking at these stats too obsessively, and it could give you anxiety. And well, the idea is to live a long, healthy life, not an anxious one. This though, even if it dies, it's still a ring, right? So works for me.